a self-empowered woman will always have compassion, and always, obviously, as you're growing up, because you're not 16 and compassionate completely, you get to learn about those lovely aspects that take place in life, right? With a beginner's mind. And what I mean by that is reconciliations, wailing trees. I'm a 5D mystic in the Enlightenment Soul Age group, and I'm a functional adult. The difference that is 5D, no, sciences, spirituality, one and in the same, but sciences dispels the myths of the demon, evil, and all that other stuff that instead 4D is consistently going to continue on. So 5D mystics, we know about the divine feminine's true nature, which is we're a nurturer. We have our emotional awareness immediately, not later on. And so we don't need a special star for anything that takes place within our community. We understand the in-between and when we're not being necessarily accepted, and we don't take offense because we don't have an inner critic. Our left mode is a friend, and our right mode is our emotional body. Okay, so divine feminine does not lose their home, the human home, and we know that we are a spirit. Soul doesn't really matter. We don't get caught up. The left mode is the right, wrong, give me organization, which is why when you find a 4D mystic, you'll know who they are, because they don't know how to have a beginner's mind. They will make assumptions based on ancient stories, and they're using the whole scars on their chests and all that. Okay, so on that note, I'm also attachment trauma informed, and I care about healing trauma. So when people are serious about personal development and they're serious about their inner well-being, they will go and get support so that they can access their prefrontal cortex by processing their sorrows and actually expanding their window of tolerance. So the man souls of mental health people, they go around with their pathologies, and they go around basically not supporting us to expand the window of tolerance, but they go and do things like this. How dare somebody share a good video on how to work with panic attacks? Are you saying that I have to sit with it? So the frustrated energy, we can completely understand it compassionately. An empowered woman, I have plenty of panic attacks, and I will not be somebody who says, oh, I don't want the information that good neuroscience is providing me, or attachment and trauma. I will be open-minded to know, of course, I'm upset that I have to expand a window of tolerance because they're really frustrating. And the panic attacks are also where you feel completely helpless. We know about it. I know about it. I just didn't ever feel too overwhelmed, because as a 5D mystic, I also knew intuitively, in a divine feminine, that my energy body was expanding. In fact, I have a course on that one. Okay, so the beginner's mind is when you're in your prefrontal cortex, which means that you are rational but not cold and emotionless, which is what my teenage friend said when I would say, why are you being such a big baby about this breakup thing? There's all these other boys out there. What's the deal? Didn't you get told? Okay, so again, empowered women, and we're going to talk about that more than the mystic stuff. We have a mystic episode coming out later. And what I'm trying to get to is, it's not only about secure attachment, it's not only about differentiation of the self. An empowered woman handles our relationships with any person with conversations, okay? And we don't make assumptions based on our past. Okay, so here's where I am a big not believer of any of the gender stereotypes at all. And that's because whenever I speak to a man, they're one-to-one a person who has completely, in my book, always accepted. Now, the few times I've met those who talk down, I notice that it's cultural. And I don't mind culture, because I'm not here to instruct a person when their unconscious is what is the deal. So unless a human being becomes self-reflective and self-aware with their emotional plane, with their cultural, political, all that, I don't need to make an attitude out of a conversation, which is why a 5D will know how to use a tone, which is different. In fact, in that other video you'll see, I mentioned this. I learned how to engage with people from a place of Shiva, 0, meaning be quiet, Kali, because I can be as stupid as any other person, meaning that my perspective might not be in any way, shape, or form correct. Okay, so when you have healthy self-worth, true confidence means I'm not trying to be right, because my left and right work together, though. It's called integration of the brain, Flexible, adaptive, coherent, energized, stable. Thank you, Daniel Siegel. So I'm attachment trauma informed, and one of my courses is interpersonal neurobiology on Mindsight Institute. And when I think of my brain, I'm like, I've always been integrated or integrated prone, inclined, because I don't bullshit when my emotions come up and say, give me a golden star for feeling sad, angry, or blue. Okay, and on that note, so when meeting men, I enjoy men, and I enjoy the empowered type. And when I meet buffoons, the same with women and days, I haven't met any days personally, but when I meet a buffoon, it's a Cusco. Since I got taught how to be respectful, I will shut down. Not because I'm suppressing, no, because Shiva comes in, Kali, and then Krishna Lila, and I get curious because I'm going to meet what is something that I've never met before. And that would be somebody else's perspective. Doesn't matter whether I like it or not. I'm a 3-year-old who knows how to share a floor, okay? And so here's why when I think of my teenage years and all those lies, and I'm going to do it this way because an empowered woman, when somebody lies in my face, I just know you're a coward. Now that I'm attachment trauma informed, I'm going to feel sorry for you for a little bit until you probably behave again in some other way. And I'm going to be like, okay, you're choosing that the power of your community is going to maintain ignorant on your trauma and maladaptive child behavior, which I'm not going to correct because I'm not your mother. I'm not your father. I'm not the law, and you haven't broken any laws, and the planet is so big that I don't need to be around you. I don't have to engage in conversations. I also don't have to engage in insulting you just because I don't like your political, religious, or whatever view it is. Okay, so if somebody comes to me as a solo polyamory person, there are plenty of ways that I enjoy intellectually with men talking about it, because the women, well, let's not even go there. The women are even more closed-minded than the men are. The men, they just have fun with it because they don't even know what they're talking about. So I got one of my friends, and anytime that we bring this up, he has always some different ways that he asks me about it. And he's even accused my twin flame journey because he knows about my twin flames, because one of our first meetings was where we talked about love. And he's like, you're just traumatized. And I'm like, no, don't you understand? I love more, not less. I'm not brokenhearted. I'm not saying men are shit. No, I'm saying they're amazing. And some of them just don't know how to be empowered. That's all. So, it's not my fault that they are not working on their own inner child. Not my business. So you leave people alone who are emotionally unavailable, because that's the point. They're going to make sure, get away from me, get away from me. And they will then go do their unfinished business. As I learned from Terry Real, people hold themselves and others the way they were held. As I've learned from Patrick Tiahan, childhood trauma survivor, healed and healing, and he's a good therapist, they are the minority, those who go and get good childhood trauma therapy. And in fact, he's right. I have seen more than enough of my share of people coming to me for all that is the mystic plane. Maria, give me an Akashic record reading. Maria, give me a tarot reading. Maria, give me a Reiki session. Maria, no, I don't want to do the inner growth mindset. I don't want to do personal development. And it's like, okay, well, my lovely trauma expert courses, they did tell me, Maria, don't worry about it. The body of those people and their brain is going to keep trying to get them home. As long as they choose not to go home, you know what they're going to do? They're going to wallow in the sorrow of the 4D and 3D land. So the Human Suffering Love Group, they keep doing that. We don't do that. We do, okay, those who want to heal trauma seriously, they're going to find a community of people who know how to embrace, because we see each other for who we are. Man, woman, they, might they be. It doesn't matter what you believe in, politically, religiously, or anything. If I meet the people that say yoga brings demons out of you, I'll talk to them. Will they talk to me is the question. If I meet a person who says, I don't like polyamory, I think they're whores, I'll still talk to them. And I won't have anything of, oh my God, they offended me. Because healthy self-worth, you don't take offense. It's not personal. Doesn't anybody know? The spirituality process, when it's not personal, we know what rudeness is. But again, what I know more is that anybody who's rude doesn't know how to accept that there's more than one opinion in life. And they obviously don't know what it means to live on planet Earth. So groundedness is where we have different opinions. I met a bunch of people with chips on their shoulder. They're all annoying, and I don't like to be around them, but I learned how to leave them alone, let them speak, because a 3-year-old doesn't want a beginner's mind. They just want to be right, like any maladaptive child behavior. So that's not empowered women, men, or theys. Empowerment means we can talk about things and respect each other and know that the world keeps moving forward as we collaborate and grow, love, and heal trauma seriously together with secure attachment. Come and join us.